Hi everyone, it's Clarice, and as you can see, I'm not in front of my bookshelf, and that's because I'm not at home. So because I'm not at home, a couple of things you're just gonna have to bear with for the rest of the video. One, this boring white background, which is the best I could do, and two, the noise that you might hear in the background because it's noisy here. Like, you can hear the cars and the road rage and the horns and the things. But anyway, the point of this video is just to tell you that I'm going to be participating in the Tome Topple Readathon that was started by Thoughts on Tomes. So I will leave all the relevant links down below in case you're interested to find out more or to participate yourself. But the basic idea of this readathon is not to rush through books or to read shorter books, but instead to read the longer books that you may not normally read during a readathon and get through those books. And I wasn't initially planning on participating in this readathon or any readathon because, unlike most of you who are just starting your summer vacation, I just actually got back to school. So yes, I am busy. But when I found out that this readathon is a 2-week-long readathon, and when I realized some of the books that I was planning to read were pretty long anyway, I figured, why not? Now, there are two books that are going to be my main focuses for this readathon, and the first of which is Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. I don't actually know much of what it's about, but I don't really mind. I'm actually buddy reading this with my friend outside of BookTube because buddy reading Sanderson is kind of our thing, and so I'm really excited to read this. Also because even though it's about 600 pages long, I barely ever feel the length of Brandon Sanderson books because they're so exciting and so difficult to put down, so I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna get through this book relatively quickly for its length. And the other book I'm planning to read really is a tome, and that is Ream D by Neil Stephenson. Now, I actually haven't read any Neil Stephenson yet. I've owned Anathem for a while, and I've heard that that is amazing, but I haven't gotten around to it for whatever reason. And I don't know, maybe it's not a good idea for me to read a 1,000-page long book as my first Neil Stephenson book, but the main reason I picked this up was not because I wanted to read Neil Stephenson, though I really do want to read Neil Stephenson, but because recently I felt this urge to read more books that are computer related in theme, fiction books I mean, and I don't know why I haven't read more of that. I study computer science, and I feel like this would only get me even more excited about my field. I do know that this might have something to do with hacking and with virtual reality and things, but don't quote me on that, I'm not totally sure. Point is, a lot of computer stuff, it sounds like a lot of fun. I've heard wonderful things, and it is massive, so we'll see how quickly I get through this one. There are two other books that I'm also planning to read during this readathon. The first being Weeder Drowned by Karsten Jensen, and that's a book that I'm currently reading now. I'm actually listening to the audiobook and reading the ebook, but the problem with reading that right now is because I'm reading some other books from other countries, and while I'm totally okay with reading multiple books at a time, it's difficult when those books are very similar, and a lot of the books I'm reading right now deal with the history of countries and possibly war and dictators and that sort of thing, and I'm getting countries' histories confused and mixed up, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm hoping to listen to it more in the next couple of weeks or so during the readathon. And last book I'm planning to read is The Fifth Beatle, which is a graphic non-fiction book. It's not technically a novel because, again, it's non-fiction, but it's a book about Brian Epstein, who was the manager of the Beatles, and it's about, I guess, managing the Beatles, but also about his struggles being a gay man at that time period. And I'm really excited to read it because I've heard wonderful things. And the art also looks so good. I've owned this for a while and I've been wanting to read it for a while, and I figured, why not read it during this readathon? So there are 5 challenges in this readathon which should all be accomplished by reading these books. First of which is to read more than 2 tomes, with a tome being a book that is more than 500 pages, and since 3 of the books that I'm planning to read are more than 500 pages, as long as I get 2 of those read, I should be good. Next is to take a graphic novel break, but again, since The Fifth Beatle is not a graphic novel, technically, I guess I'll still count it. It totally counts. Next is to read a tome that's part of a series. And I just realized now that I'm not doing that one. I had a different TBR in mind initially, so I guess I'm not fulfilling this challenge, but that's totally fine. Next is to read over 500 pages in 1 week. I'm pretty sure I should be able to do that if I'm able to read these books. And last is to read an adult novel, and I think all of these books are adult novels. So yeah, those are the books I'm planning to read in this upcoming readathon. Are you planning on participating, and what are you planning to read? Please leave it in the comment section down below. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!